jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
What's going on, everyone? WCS back on the boulevard once again. First of all, we must acknowledge the supporters, man. Big Blunts and Boxing on deck with it. You already know what's good in the building, man. Andrew Charles on deck. WCS salute in the building. You already know Andrew. Notification game. Shout out DraftKings, Big Blunts. Yeah, man. Everybody's on deck. Appreciate you. I just want to send out the memo. For those of you that know a friend who is a friend who might just know that friend, tell them to sub to the channel. I truly appreciate it. We're definitely trying to get the subscribers up just because more is better in this case. You know, it looks good to appease these naysayers out here. But man, you already know we just got big questions. We just have some questions, about what we witnessed the other day. I'm thinking, some people made out good on the betting scales. You know what I'm saying? I think they balanced out good. I didn't. I don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to one and only Fistiana Fights in the building. You already know. Peace and blessings, WCS, and chat on deck. You already know, Fistiana. Appreciate you pulling up once again. So the fight of all fights went down because we're pretty much yearning for these fights to take place in 23, right? So we had Artur Beterbiev. He was defending against Anthony Yarde. And he had been in this situation before, fighting Sergey Kovalev for a title. And then he had stepped in there with the guy who was supposed to beat, and Lyndon Arthur. He took a loss and then came back and smashed him in the rematch. Now, in this case right here, him going into the eighth round, he went a round short of Marcus Brown, which I mentioned on one of my lives. And I asked people, I say, who do you think the better fighter? A lot of people thought Anthony Yarde was the better fighter than Marcus Brown. But god damn, Beterbiev improved to 19 victories, 19 knockouts. He has gears, y'all. He has gears, no doubt about it. And I must refresh the chat when I mentioned the interview that I did with both of these guys in the same proximity. And I presented the question to Yarde. I said, what happened when you lost to Lyndon Arthur? That was a fight you were supposed to win. What happened? And he had a different type of tune to it than Tunde did. He said he had to get more eyes in the camp and so forth and everything else. But when I asked Tunde said, it was personal things that was going on with Yarde and all that, right? In this fight, I'm not trying to umbrella, and protect Yarde in any way, shape, or form. He went in there and fought the best that he possibly could do. I just felt like when he started to break down, he really broke down. Like he really showed retreat, to a point not turning his back, but to a point where the close was imminent, God damn it. I mean, both of these guys took punishment. But when I was looking at the legs and when I was looking at the energy levels, it just seems like Beterbiev was on the hunt. That Russian monster is no joke. This dude legs, man. His will and desire to hunt, to go out there and further break down and disable his opposition and take down his adversary. He's that guy. He has it in him. You know, even the age he's at right now, dude is still worthy. He's still dangerous out here. And I'm asking y'all, should we place any culpability on Tunde? Is he not? Is it time for him just to take a step back? Is it time though? I just want y'all to explain, how can Yard, what is going on? Was it the muscle mass? How can Yard make it to the next level and win a championship before he's too old with Tunde in his corner? Is it Yard or is it Tunde? Is it Yard who has this awesome physique? And I told you, you know, that muscle, the muscle, it takes lactic acid. It takes a lot of blood to fill up those muscles. So when you really get going, even though they're in the light heavyweight division, not every fighter is just doing cardio to compensate, you know, to level out the muscle mass with the dang respiratory system. I don't know, but it just seems like when he started to break down, he broke down. But guess what the surprise is? Two judges had Yard up on the scorecards, people, and we're gonna talk about that shit. DBM Bench on deck, man. You already know. Yard was dinging on Arthur. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But it's a 12-round fight. When he was landing punches, I'm looking further ahead. I'm like, I don't think he's gonna be able to do it, dog. I just don't. It's a 12-round fight, man. It's a 12-round fight. They had a really good round in the 7th, right? I'm looking and I'm saying, I don't know, man. I don't see this fight going another 2 rounds. I just don't see it, man. There's too much going on. I look at Beterbiev and how his legs look, how he's able to move around and reset. And I look at Yard just, you know, continue to digress, you know, park bench up against the ropes, take that punishment, even though he had some shining moments where he was landing that uppercut off the ropes. Ah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Sharing the love to Twitter right now. Appreciate you. Fistiana say peace and blessings, WCS in the chat. Appreciate you, Queen, for sure. Another vet in the house should be recognized. Salute to you. Shout out to the XO Factory in the building. WCS, I'm on deck, OG. Everybody smash the like button on deck. You already know what it is, XO. Salute to XO Factory on deck, man, on this Sunday. Appreciate you, brother. Beterbiev be bouncing on his toes in the corner after trivial moments. Man, you ain't lying, dog. Hey, man, he has the footwork. And I knew that was going to be a problem going in here against Yarde, because Yarde just don't have that footwork. Man, you know, you might say it's the light heavyweight and they don't move us around as much as the lighter divisions. But Beterbiev is moving around like the lighter divisions, God damn it. You know what I'm saying? Dang. His rhythm and motion is amazing, bro. He'll be 38 years old. He can take a shot, and he's strong. I heard people talking that, you know, Yarde did better than what they thought he would do. Look, Yard is at a point in his career right now. He can't do better than what people thought he did. He has to do. He has to get to the top. That's it. We ain't talking about going rounds and say, well, at least he made it further than Joe Smith. No one cares about that. They wanted to see, can this dude shock the world and go in there and beat this monster who's 7 years older than him. That's what the world wanted to see in this boxing universe. We didn't want to see him go in there and battle and get stopped. He already went to the 11th round with Kovalev. What are we talking about? We just want to see him go in there and compete and see can he just make it? Man, that was a 12-round fight, man. The muscles, dog. Somebody ain't doing strength and condition. They might need to hire Larry Wade. Hey, pass the word. They need Larry Wade up in there or something. You need to take off some of that muscle, work on your cardio, and put your combinations together, bro. You know what I'm saying? You showed you got the dog in you there, Yard. Let's go to the scorecards right quick. Look at these scorecards right quick, people. You see the first judge on the left, Judge Lim. Judge Lim had Anthony Yarde up, right? And this is the first 7 rounds. He had Yarde up 5 rounds to 2. He had Yarde up 5 rounds to 2, man. You know what I'm saying? But you can be up in rounds. You can be up. But look how many rounds you have left, shawty. You have 5 rounds left. That is a long time when you in there with a damn hunter like Beterbiev, dog. Look at Robin Taylor, the judge in the middle. She also had Yarde up. She had Yarde up 4 rounds to 3. She had Yarde up 4 rounds to 3. 2 judges had Yarde up 4 rounds to 3. Now I'm talking about had him up in the fight, but him up 4 rounds to 3. And then Jerome Lads, he the one that had Beterbiev. Let's see, put this 1, 2. They had Beterbiev up, or they had it kind of even. Truth be told, no, they had Beterbiev up. Lays had Beterbiev up 4 rounds to 3. So this was a pretty decent fight. It was a pretty decent fight, but you had 5 rounds remaining, bro, and they went into the 8th, and you know, you could just tell it when Yarde went over there in the 7th round and looked back at his corner for that white flag. It was over, man. And shout out to Yarde, man. He showed heart in there. He took some punishment. He was swelling up. Could you imagine what the next 5 rounds would have looked like for Yarde if he didn't have any more wheels on him? You know what I'm saying? He couldn't find any other gear, any other adjustment he can make with the next 5 rounds. It could have possibly been the same way that we've seen a lot of fighters that get beat up. What was that fighter? What was that fight we just had not too long ago? They wanted to prove a point, to keep him in there, you know, to see that dude get beat up and give him a chance to fight. Oh, David Morrell. When David Morrell went in there and beat that dude up, he ended up in a coma in the hospital. If Yarde would have went the next 5 rounds taking the punishment that he did, oh my God, it would have been incredibly bad. Incredibly bad, bro. Let me get back to the chat over here. Beterbiev be bouncing on his toes, the corner after trivia moments. Great comment. Archer getting stronger with age, but Yarde looked great. Couple moments where Yarde got trapped on the ropes. I don't know if he was trapped or not. I think his legs was you know, settling in, and them joints kept getting in neutral. You know, the gear kept popping in neutral. That's what it was to me. Like, it just seems like his legs began to get like, you know, Rashidi Ellis. You know what I'm saying? It was running on low. You know what happened? Started to get that Alexander Povetkin type of deal. You know, them legs start to slow down a lot. And people was like, hell no, you know. Yarde was like, I can't keep moving around like this. When a fighter turn around in distress and they give that nonverbal signal to your corner out there that hey, he's looking for his Tunde. He's looking to say, hey, I'm just letting you know, man. I'm about to get laid flat out, bro. I'm done. I don't have anything else in the tank. I need for you to rescue me. So, Tunde, he rescued the man. I don't blame him, but I'm just trying to, my whole live is it time for Tunde to take a back step and get some different set of eyes on there and don't and stop making this a club type deal. Like, you know what I'm saying? It can be lines in the camp. It sounds good, but maybe you need a Kodiak bear in that motherfucker. Maybe you need a crocodile up in that bitch. Maybe you need to switch it up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you just need some other animals up in there to serve different purposes, for you to go out here and get this win. Because you can be a champion, bro. You can absolutely be a champion. But unfortunately for you, the two guys that's holding the belts are better than you. If you had another gear being ahead on two judges' scorecards, it's possibly this fight would have looked a little bit different in the next 5 rounds, but you was getting beat up. But Turbiev was taking punishment, but it's a different type of punishment, bro. He was willing to take the punishment, and he wasn't on the decline like you were. He was willing to get in close. He took punishment against freaking Marcus Brown. He was bloodied up. Jason said Yard was never up. I'm talking about the numbers, brother. I'm talking about the numbers. Shout out to Lost Art of Boxing, the LAB in the building. WCS, what's popping, man? On deck, I see you. What's good with it, Q? What's good? Try to pedal with 2 flats. Hey, man, he got to that point, didn't he? Yarde got to that point. You know what I'm saying? He got to that point where when them legs go, just like we see Rashidi Ellis, then it becomes a whole nother situation you got to deal with. And I was pulling for Yarde, bro. I'm on record. I was pulling for Yard. I was hoping he'd get the job done this time against a tough opponent. But Turbiev is a monster, man. I've seen that dude fight in person. He's a monster, bro. That dude got crazy legs, man. Him and Lomachenko pretty much move the same. Imagine that shit. Lomachenko fighting as low as lower weight as 130, right? You know what I'm saying? 130, 126. You know what I'm saying? You couple all those damn divisions together, and he's up there, a light heavyweight, moving like a featherweight, moving like a super featherweight, moving like a lightweight. But Turbiev has legs, man. He has coordination like it's cool. Yard doesn't have footwork. He had to slow leaks, empty the tank. What's going on, Jones Jr. on deck? Salute to you. What's good? I agree, man. When it came down the Yard, all that muscle, I don't know who's his strength and conditioning. He has the potential to be a champion. He may need another strength and conditioning. He needs somebody that's not going to put as much muscle on him. And whatever they're doing over there, they need somebody to come in there and put him on the road. Whatever, man. They need to just switch it up. Less muscle mass to take you through the later rounds. More punch combinations, more activity. You just can't be coming off the ropes against somebody like Turbiev, whose legs look like they was fresh, in the first round, the way they looked in the 7th round. They looked the same. He looked good, man. But Turbiev looked good out there. This dude has power, man. Him and Dimitri Bivol fight is going to be great. It's going to be great. A lot of people believe in what they've seen, the same thing. It's not going to happen to Bivol like that. It's not going to happen. But it's going to be a good fight. Bivol's a different animal, man. But Turbiev is a different animal. You have two Predatory animals, man, is going to have to define who has the better hunting technique. You know what I'm saying? Who has better hunting skills? Who's the more dominant? Who's the more alpha? Those two are going to have to determine that when they step in there. I know it's a lot of other languages going on. Bivol may face Canelo and all that. What he need to do is face Beterbiev, right? And then potentially we will have one of the biggest fights. Possibly we may have one of the biggest fights in boxing when we have two undisputed champions going, versus one another. We have Dmitry Bivol. I think he'll beat Beterbiev. And then we'll have Canelo Alvarez. Because I see him getting past John Ryder. It can be a boxing recovery if that happened. When it comes to the best fighting the best, boxing needs a resuscitation right now. We need a fight like Dmitry Bivol and Canelo Alvarez in a rematch. Both undisputed champions. I mean, how often have you seen that in the history of this sport? That should be wild. It'd be bananas, as they call it. Chaos. Shout out to Tony Reviews on deck. What's good with it? Tunde robbed Yarde of the opportunity to be great. Imagine if McCracken would have thrown in the towel after Klitschko knocked him down. Yarde was still in the fight. I see it. Look, I hear what you're saying there, Tony, and shout out to Tony Reviews in the building. I hear what you're saying, but in that 7th round there, Tony, he turned around and he gave that distress signal, bro. Nonverbal communication. It's like 65 to 70% of how we communicate. Goddamn, Yarde turned around and he was searching. He gave Tunde, Tunde was saying something to him, and it looked like Yarde looked over there. Look, let me give him the benefit of the doubt. Yarde might have been listening with his eyes. Okay? Yarde may have been listening with his eyes, because a lot of these trainers, they would tell the fighter to look at them, because sometimes to get their point across, we even do it as parents. We'll tell our children, we'll tell people, look at me. Listen to what I'm telling you. All right, this is what you need to know. I think Yarde, he possibly could have been listening with his eyes, or he could have been over there seeking the white flag, because he took some punishment in that 7th round. I was just thinking to myself, I said, getting up from a knockdown, can he do it? Does he have anything left in the tank? Is this fight about to get stupid ugly? I don't know, man. It's two ways. I mean, I can take your point. You know what I'm saying? It's a solid point. I just always remember him looking over the top rope. Was he listening with his eyes, or he was seeking for that, that person Tunde to rescue him, because he didn't have anything left in the tank and he was going to be flattened out like he was against Sergey Kovalov. I don't think they wanted that to happen. So it's still bad, but it may be a little bit smidgen of a better look for him to go out on his feet and for the referee to stop it due to the corner. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. So let me ask y'all. So do you think Tunde should still be on the in the corner? Should Tunde still hold down that position? Should he take a step back there, Tony? That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to ask the chat. Should Tunde take a step back, because that's twice that they fail to get to the pinnacle, the championship pinnacle, and win that crown? Is it time for Tunde to take a step back? Bro, if you still look, if anyone on here talking about, is it true that Yarde doesn't spar? Come on, stop it. That's old news, man. They learned their lesson from that. Hey, from what I understand, yeah, they learned their lesson. So the towel was thrown in, looked like he was ready to quit. And that's what I'm talking about, Q. It just looks like he was looking over the top rope for his savior. For somebody to say, hey, he didn't have to say that. He just give him that look. A trainer knows, like when a fighter look back at you with that look, hey, I don't have it. I don't have it, bro. I don't have it. Oh, look, I'll be honest, man. Nobody wasn't stopping that fight. When AJ and Klitschko was fighting, nobody wasn't stopping that fight when it came to AJ. AJ was there to win. If anybody was going to get stopped, it was just who was stopped and Klitschko in the 11th round. And you see how it came out of nowhere, right? It came out of nowhere because that man came off like a year and a half layoff or whatever in retirement. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't fought since losing to Tyson Fury, and they go seek him out of retirement just to sell out the Wembley Stadium. And he goes in there and start putting those hands, that straight right laser on freaking Joshua. And Joshua started goddamn hitting the canvas and shit. And people's like, damn, that's not what we talked about, Klitschko. What are you doing? I think Klitschko dialed it back a little bit. They was building up Joshua as a champion. Charles Martin had already took the dive. And they wanted him to go ahead and fight a big name in Klitschko so we can sell out Wembley Stadium. And that's what they did. But Klitschko started putting them hands on him, and it was all bad. So the referee had to step in and save his ass in 11 so he could get that vacant belt. Shout out to goddamn Eddie Hearns, dog. Shout out Eddie Hearns doing your thing, shouty. He yelled at Tunde. Watch the replay. Oh, so okay. I mean, so you saying he yelled at Tunde not to stop the fight? So he yelled at Tunde not to stop the fight. I have to watch the replay. I have to go back and pay attention to it. It just looked somewhat different to me. You know what I'm saying? If y'all believe that Tunde needs to be fired, I can see why people are feeling the way they are. There's no argument here. It's been on record for a while now that there's some rift internal to that camp. You know what I'm saying? So you know how that goes, man. Some people are comfortable with having certain people around. That's who they travel with. They know them very well. They trust them. See, that's the crazy part about boxing. It's a lot of these fighters that trust people that's not a good fit for their camp. Like I'm saying, up to this point, they've gotten all the way up to this point, and it's people that they trust, but they know deep down inside they need somebody else to come in there and take them to the next level. I think that's where we at with Tunde and Yarde, man. Why do you think he need to be fired, though? Bruce Gas, Boxing, Jazz, and more. Salute to you. OG on deck. Salute, brother at WCS in the building. I feel you. I see you out there, Bruce. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you pulling up. Blunt say, I saw Tunde going for the towel from the big guy that hold the mitts for Yarde, and dude didn't give him the towel, so he jumped up on the ring. Okay, all right, that's what's up. So it was somewhat like what we saw in Deontay Wilder fight, right? In the rematch when Mark Breland threw in the towel, it kind of was the same thing outside the ropes. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of the same thing outside the ropes. Where people was asking JD's, do they, to throw in the towel? You want to throw in the towel? And he was like, no. And then somehow the towel was retrieved and they threw the towel in and stopped the fight. We all saw the aftermath of that. So if indeed this have some of the same residue attached to it, right? We'll just see how it plays out. If he was looking over the ropes because there was some commotion going on over there, and of course his ears was listening. Somebody was over there saying, hey, we're going to stop the fight, man. You're in a bad place. And then some other people saying, no, don't stop the fight. Don't stop the fight. Then Tunde let Yard go out on his shield against Kovalev? Didn't he let him go out on his shield? So I'm just saying, I don't know about Tunde being fired, but maybe he just needs to play a secondary position, when it comes to training camp. I'm pretty sure he has a say-so in training camp. I'm pretty sure he's an intricate role player in training camp. But what we need to know right now, though, does he have what it takes for Anthony Yarde to somehow get a title? We look, Anthony Yarde cannot continue to compete, man, if he's not capable of winning a championship. That's all I'm saying, bro. I just watched the replay back. When Yarde was walking to the corner, Tunde was right there yelling something at him, and Yarde yelled back at him and then walked to the ref. Interesting. Interesting. That is interesting. Appreciate the info. Because I was busy paying attention to some other things that was going on. I'm not gonna lie. I was going back and forth, but I was watching the BJJ tournament that was going on. But that's interesting. I wonder what was said. I wonder what Tunde words were to Yarde. You know what I'm saying? I wonder what was going on, because it looked like Yarde looked over the top rope to me. And, like I said, maybe he was just listening with his eyes. He wanted to, pretty much direct his voice to Tunde or whatever. I don't know what was said. I just heard, I just read what Tony just mentioned and Blunt's. So I'm curious to know what happened. What was the exchange, man? Because Tunde has the right. If Tunde is the head dude over in the corner and he asks for the motherfucking towel, he's supposed to get the towel. You know what I'm saying? Who's giving the orders? You know what I'm saying? We heard Deontay Wilder say, I'm the boss. If I give the orders not to throw the towel in, I want to go out on my shield. That's what I want to do. So in this particular scenario, who's running the show? Is it the mid holder or is it Tunde? If Tunde asks for the freaking towel, shouldn't he get the towel? Because he's been in the camp long enough. Shouldn't he get the damn towel, though? Shouldn't he get the towel? Real talk, shouldn't he get the towel? That's where it gets a little bit shady. You know what I'm saying? And the how you put it? The undisciplined, you know what I'm saying, starts to show in the corners. The lack of loyalty, so to speak. How are you gonna have the Chiefs over there, the ones that's running the show, doing training camp and everything else, and then to get to a point in the fight and they say, hey, I don't think he has. I think it's gonna be all bad. I don't want him taking his punishment because he still can live to fight another day, blase, and then the person don't give him the towel. That's fucked up. Too much muscle, and UK fighters lack dogs, straight crumps. I can see where you can get that understanding. I do. I know where you're going with all the muscles and the ones that's been on the canvas. And I'm not gonna make it about them, but I have total understanding of what you're talking about. And we just can't use Joshua as the only example. But Joshua at one point in time was 254 in there fighting with Carlos Takam when the motherfucking weight was supposed to be like, what, 235 or something like that? You know what I'm saying? And he came in there all bulked up with no cardio. And then the ref was trying to stop the fight, act like freaking Carlos Takam didn't know English. You know what I'm saying? We know how the UK get down when it comes to the weights. I don't know why, though. I don't know why Yarde continues to come in there bulked up. He need to call Larry Wade, goddammit. King Mitch on deck. Salute, Comeback, what up in the building? I see you. I see you there, Mitch. Salute to you, brother. Dixon on deck. It was a good stoppage. Yarde said it after the fight. Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. But Yarde's gonna keep it professional. Whether he disagreed with what was going on in the corner or not. Who's in charge? Because I'm gonna tell you, we got a problem when we get back to the damn dressing room. If I'm the chief, I say give me the towel. I feel like my fighter's in trouble and you don't give it to me. We got an issue. We have an issue, point blank. You can't have that discord in the corner in a fight of this magnitude. You in there with the damn killer. You ain't in there with motherfucking Sergey Kovalev returning. So y'all can handle that rematch. That's not the case, bro. You in there with the guy who can hurt you. So a towel should be in the proximity if your fighter's taking punishment. Man, this ain't just no everyday run-of-the-mill shit. These boxers it can take one fight for them to never fight again. We see that in Pritchard Cologne. Then we see all the dang documentaries on Jerry McLean's fight. But yet, we'll act like the person that's in charge of the corner, they shouldn't be able to freaking, hey, give me that towel right there. And that person that has the towel, they well, why you need that? Give me the towel, man. No, man, I'm not giving you the towel. See, we got an issue. We got an issue then. We got an issue, period. You can't have no discord in a championship fight like that in there with the killer. Turbiev, the way he hits and everything, if the chief feels like, hey, I got some concern and I'm only gonna let this go, this, that, and the other, this amount of time, or I feel like I'm gonna throw in the towel, hey, it needs to be done. He said that Tunde saw something he didn't see, and he was happy to be out of the ring safe and smiling. That's good, man. Yarde is a good dude, man. He took some punishment. He showed he had that heart. He stayed in there. He didn't show like he wanted to run. He wanted to retreat. You know what I'm saying? Like Joe Smith, for instance, when he was in those exchanges, Joe Smith, he turned his back, a little bit, was trying to get out the way. He was trying to retreat, but he forgot there was ropes that was cording off the rings and everything. So he couldn't just jump off the damn ring apron and run back to the damn dressing room. It seemed like he was in retreat, but at least Yarde stood there on his ground. I mean, he attempted to hold his ground and fight. He just didn't have the energy. He was out. He was out. He was done. He was on fumes, dog. Done. Tyson the Cheat Fury, the only UK fighter with dog in him. Well, not every UK fighter is a gypsy. So I think Tyson Fury gypsy or whatever they have in their blood, I think their fabric is different over there when it comes to the grimy side. You know what I'm saying? To combat sports. Now, listen, before anybody attacks me, I said that for Tyson Fury. I know it's 2 T's in this motherfucker, but I did not say that for Tommy Fury. Okay? Let's not get his shit twisted. I said Tyson Fury. I did not say Tommy Fury, goddammit. His pops, okay? His pops, was able to pass off that chromosome down to Tyson, and that's where it worked out. Tommy, I don't think so, brother. Bruce be slipping though. Didn't even see him. Salute, Bruce. Tunde told Yarde, I don't want to see you get hurt immediately after he stopped the fight. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, Tunde was calling him, and Yarde turned around, because you can hear everything. You can hear the voices of your corner. You can hear that without looking at him. But I'm pretty sure Tunde had some words for Yarde, and he may be trying to stop the fight at that time. He might have been seriously concerned, and Yarde looked over there. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I really don't know. I don't know what the exchange was, but like you're saying, y'all are letting me know in the chat that Tunde's his intentions was to get his fighter out of there safely to fight another day. His career ain't over. Dude is still young. He still has a chance to become world champion. All right. Only if Beterbiev and those belts come available. If they become undisputed, whoever, Bivol or Beterbiev, they become undisputed and they come off the belts. I believe it's enough time for Yarde still to go in there and fight for a vacant championship. I don't see him fighting Bivol, and I don't see him fighting Beterbiev. I think if Yarde fights Bivol, I think it'll be even that much more punishing. Seriously, because Bivol is a strategic linear striker. Like, he's very accurate. He's a sniper. He's very accurate. And for somebody who just don't rush in and take that punishment like Beterbiev, and he's lining freaking Yarde up against the ropes, man, shit. Nah. I think it would have been much more of a shorter fight if Bivol would have been in there with Yarde last night. Andrew said Yarde wasn't mad about the stoppage, and neither was I in the case. Yarde was in great spirits after the fight. Was in great spirits after the fight, probably due to not getting beat into submission. He was close. But you're right, Andrew. He was close. I don't know. People don't understand what it feels like. Like, bro, these fighters are humans. You know what I'm saying? These fighters are humans, like it's cool. Boxing is the hurt business for a reason, man. We see people slurring speech and everything, and they say, oh man, so-and-so stayed in the sport too long. No, it all depends on the fighter, bro. It all depends on the physical anatomy of the fighter. The neurological, how people wired. They always talk about how people wired. People wired different. That's true. Neurologically, you can get a fighter that didn't take as much punishment as this fighter, but yet the fighter that took less punishment has slurred speech. They're much more in a dilapid state because that's just the way their body is, man. Like, you look at James Toney and you look at Roy Jones, you look at Mitch Green, and you look at Tim Witherspoon. Tim Witherspoon sitting up here looking like he's in his freaking 30s and shit. Mitch Green, he can barely walk, barely talk. Mitch Green is younger by several months than Tim Witherspoon, bro. How does that work? Shout out to Rebel Life Boxing in the building, man. WCS salute, big bro. On deck. I see you. Yarde looked like he was trying to tell the ref something, probably stop the fight. I don't know if he was trying to tell the ref that, because that looks bad. If you're trying to go to the ref to stop the fight, shit. No, he probably told the ref, hey, my corner trying to tell you something. My corner over there. My corner, listen to my corner, man. My corner trying to get up here. Tunde, tell him, Tunde. Yeah, tell him, Tunde. Speak up, man. Shit. This shit hurt out here, man. Hurt. Yeah, shout out to Rebel Life in the building. Rashid on deck. What's good, Rashid? In the building, those Russian pairs are the industry standards. Man, I'm not even going to take his glory away from Rashid. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give Beterbiev the benefit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him the benefit, bro. Real talk. He fought a good fight. He's a tough dude. I'm going to give him the benefit, man. All the criticism and tension was in the back of Tunde's mind. Yarde was hurt bad, though. I don't think the stoppage was all that bad. I feel you. I just felt like, people are going to look at it like, I do. Once again, Yarde missed the finish line. He wasn't able to make the final bell in the championship fight. And he said he was green. But I understand you went to the 11th with an older fighter in Kovalov. You have a fighter that's just as old, just a couple of years younger than Kovalov at that time, and Beterbiev, much more dangerous fighter, and you went to the 8th. I saw some changes in there. I saw some improvements. I did. Mike Gee on deck. Salute to you, Mike. Appreciate you pulling up to the boulevard, man. I told Balash that Yard looked very full, definitely carved up. Me personally, I would have stayed flat going into the fight. Maybe one meal with rice, oatmeal or breakfast, but I wouldn't load up. I'm just curious to know who's his strength and conditioning, why they continue to send him in there with all that freaking muscle. You know, he could have ate some sweet potato, man. Sweet potatoes time release carbs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know why they continue to send that man in there and think, oh, we only want you to look good for the face off. That's it. No, man, you gotta be smarter than that, Shawty. You gotta be smarter than that, bro. I told Balash that Yard looked very full, definitely carved up. Me personally, I would have stayed flat. I just think it's his condition up to a point, bro. What's going on? Boat right on deck. Let this shit. Let this shit. As good as Bill is a boxer and footwork, jab, he ain't got that dog in him that's willing to take punishment and get dropped like Beterbiev does. Why he's gonna lose? I totally disagree with you, bro. He is an absolute dog. Bivol is a dog. Bivol is one of those guys that you see in martial arts that takes everything. He goes by the educational manual. He does everything traditionally. You know, he's blessed to the point where people look at Bivol as not being that straight off the look, straight off the appearance. He doesn't give you that killer. You know what I'm saying? Like you look at Beterbiev, you know that dude look like he's that guy. But a more friendlier, you know what I'm saying, guy when you come to the appearance is Bivol. But Bivol has strict fundamentals, man. Very sound, lethal, dangerous boxer. Very strong. You know what I'm saying? Look, he doesn't give the boxing fans that killer, picture that they want to see. Like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Bivol's on deck. Oh shit. No, when Bivol come on deck, people say, hey, Bivol, how you doing, guy? Oh, nice to see you. When Beterbiev's around, they say, ain't nobody talking to Beterbiev. I've been there. I seen him. I seen Beterbiev walking down the streets in NYC. Ain't nobody goddamn just pulling up to Beterbiev, like that. But they will Bivol. Because Bivol looks a lot more user-friendly, approachable and shit. Not Beterbiev. And Beterbiev is cool people. I think Bivol beats Beterbiev based off his accuracy. You know what I'm saying? And he does have footwork. He has amazing distance gauging, man. Like his distance, the way he set his distance with his opponents, so he can be defensively minded to counter them and be within distance. I mean, the combinations that he put together on this opposition is what Anthony Yarde lacked. So imagine Anthony Yarde being able to touch up Beterbiev as much as he did, right? But switch that over to Bivol and put a clicker on his punch output. If he could have had that same success Yarde did, it would have been a whole different fight, man. It would have been a whole different fight because he is accurate with his punches. He does have the cardio. And we seen that when he went in there against Zerto, who looked like he was damn 235. He damn near stopped that guy. Recorded the fight. I'll send the clip till you come back for sure. Appreciate you. Dub on deck. What's good with the dub right side? Salute in chat. Salute to you, brother. Al Money on deck. In the building. Tony say, I don't adhere to the notion that muscle slows you down. When you think about the greatest gas tank of all time, it was Holyfield. And he was extremely muscle bound. Klitschko was pure muscle. Is how. Okay, I totally get what you're saying about using one fighter out of thousands to make your point. I get it. Holyfield was, my guy. I kind of watched him come up, down. Even though he's from Alabama, I seen Holyfield down here when he was training and stuff. Yeah, I get Holyfield was that anomaly, you know what I'm saying, of fighters who had muscle mass and knew how to use it. But he was always considered a smaller heavyweight. You know what I'm saying? Cruiserweight, cool, right around where he need to be. But you're taking one fighter though. One fighter. If we found some other names of some fighters that had muscle mass and how successful they was, they definitely won't add up to Vander Holyfield. So I don't use the measuring stick on one fighter because that's just like people trying to compare people to Roy Jones, right? With his speed and agility and all that. But that's just one fighter. You know what I'm saying? People try to emulate what Tyson did. That's just one fighter. You know what I'm saying? It's just so many fighters that was blessed to be the one of one. Anthony Yarde is not a Holyfield. Absolutely not. He don't know how to fight. You know, with that muscle mass on, he don't have an extra gear. He don't know how to conserve energy with that muscle mass. You know, and he's not a pure boxer. You know, when it comes down to what Evander was able to do at that time. You know what I'm saying? Plus, Evander had an amazing chin, dog. He had an amazing chin. Him and Riddick Bowe, god damn, they was throwing some bombs. I ain't gonna lie. Yard showed me the dog from my Yard showed me some dog from my view. Shit ain't even, though his gas tank was solid, he carried his power throughout. But just on him a few times and hurt him. Well, look at it this way, Mitch. I feel you. But doesn't the gas tank have to do with making pit stops, especially in the ring? If your legs are there, you're gonna continue to move. Just imagine, you know, Rashidi Ellis was moving and grooving, but he started taking pit stops. He started park benching up against the ropes, and then allow his opponent to get off on him a little bit. So when you allow that stationary position to now become an easier target, now you're taking punishment. Maybe you took 3 shots the first time you park bench. Then you turn back around and you take 5 to 6 punches while you're over there. You're declining each and every time you park bench up against the rope. You're declining, especially if your opponent has pretty decent power. They have pretty decent speed. You're declining. And he might have only, you know, put his back up against the ropes to take some punishment here and there. But it seems like we're forgetting Beterbiev is a monster, man. When he let his hands go over there, I'm pretty sure, you know, y'all seen it. He was going up top. He was going to the body, all that shit. I did, Tony. I did. I was a nosy type of dude who was pretty much, I would visit these schools because, you know, I always wanted to know, especially Thailand. I always wanted to know, you know, did I have enough heart? Did I have enough to go over here and be in a position where I can go through the most extreme training measures outside of America? Like in the US, I'm not saying they don't have no extreme measures, but I found out overseas, this shit can get crazy. You know, even from the Japanese school over there, shit can get crazy. You know, they have different training and you know, I tell people all the time, if you really want to get a whiff how different it is, you know, that's why you see US fighters going over to Thailand, taking some time away from the US and going through that regime over there. It's brutal. Even for the kids that I seen over there. You know what I'm saying? It's brutal. It would be child abuse over here, bro. It would be child abuse. I just didn't train boxing. Y'all looked at the ref like, why you stopped the fight? The ref gestured to Tunde, who was on the apron at the time. That was when he told him her. Okay, that's what's up. Appreciate that nugget. Appreciate that nugget there, Mitch. Real talk. Appreciate the nugget. Yeah, I was a nosy type combat practitioner, man. I just, you know, at one point in time, I was even thinking of staying overseas, man. and not going back to the States because I wanted to spend like a decade over there training in different arts. But of course, when I woke up, I say, you know what, I need to retire. She had me a Japanese girlfriend, man. I was good, dog. It was a good fight while it lasted, but the outcome was predictable. Muscle Mass said he was done in the eighth. It would have got worse from there, Mac. I just look at how fluent and how dangerous Beterbiev continued to put that pressure on Yard. It would have been bad, dog. We seen what happened to Adonis Stevenson. Let's not forget we have these guys who was able to recover and still function. They can't get back in the ring, but they're still able to function. You know what I'm saying? We talk about how a fighter got to that point. When they die or this, that, and the other, they always question, oh, did so and so leave him in there too much? Like when Buddy McGirt was sitting up here pleading with Max and Dedashev. Please, Max, no, Max, no, Max, you're done. And Max was like, no, I'm good. No, Max, I can't do it. You're taking too much, Max. No, I can't do it. And the fight was stopped, and he leaves the ring and go into a coma. And people are still up here talking about Buddy McGirt kept him in there too long. No, he took him out, dog. He gave that warrior a chance. Appreciate that, Blunts. Appreciate you. But Turbiev got the job done. But he didn't look that good to me. He instead done better. I'm telling you, him needs to be the fight. Him and Bivol needs to be the fight. So we can see even something can happen with the winner and Canelo. First of all, it's one way this Canelo fight can go down. All right? If Beterbiev becomes undisputed, we will never see a Canelo Beterbiev. Beterbiev would be the first one to stop Canelo Alvarez. Real talk. He would he would stop Canelo. That's just me. I know I'm gonna have some freaking insurgency. I feel you. I know I'm gonna have some insurgency in the chat, but the only way this fight happens is that Bivol wins. Canelo is not going to be crazy enough to go in there and fight Beterbiev. He's not, dog. He's going to lead. I'm done. I'm not touching that light heavyweight division no more. Beterbiev is the dang undisputed. No, I'm done. I'm good. Captain Chaos in the building. He said, flowers to WCS for keeping these scoundrels and dirtbags honest. You made them see the truth. You brought the intel and recon for Blue to get cooked. Drew and Blue are King Cap. I'm sorry I made a mistake. Shout out to Captain Chaos with the $20 super chat in the building. Wild dog on the loose. Wild dog on the loose over. You already know what it is, Chaos. You already know, man. Blunt said, King Mitch, I agree 100%. I see Bivol winning after last night. Bivol can avoid that power. Yes, he has incredible distance, spacing of his opponent. Beautiful. I think he's one. Look, his boxing skills utilize very little foot movement. Bivol and Yarde is almost similar to not using an extreme amount of foot movement, but Bivol, the way he displays his punch combinations and the way he lets his hands go and his cardio, he's different. He's different, bro. He minimized his movement, but yet still delegates an extensive amount of punishment. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't see him getting beat up against Beterbiev. I think Beterbiev is going to have to do most of the work with getting in close on Bivol to actually see, can he touch him and break him down? You know what I'm saying? It's a good fight. It can go either way, to be honest with you. It can go either way. I got Bivol outboxing. Bivol said enough gas in the tank and ability to frustrate and outbox Beterbiev for 12 rounds. Has enough. Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. He has enough skills too. I mean, his ring IQ when it comes to his spacing with his opponent to basically whenever he chooses to be offensively minded and he's the present pressure fighter, or when he chooses to be, defense, he allow his opponent to throw the punches and have that counter just waiting. His ring IQ is on point, man. His timing on point. I think his timing is much better than Beterbiev because Beterbiev is a mover. I agree. Max said his speed would be a major factor. I agree, man. I agree. I think his accuracy also will be a major factor in touching Beterbiev. Look, Beterbiev is showing a consistency now with taking punishment from fighters and getting hit. You really don't want to be on the front side of Bivol's gloves like that when he put his punch combination together. We've seen him show that he can line opponents up, and he's accurate with it. He's very punctual with those appointments. So now all we have to do is see, can we get past the paperwork and make this fight happen? Martin King boxing on deck. Salute to you. Captain K, I say my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother, my brother. Shouts out to my brother, better know this. Blue Ochino. I feel you there. I feel you there, Chaos, man. I feel you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I have to go do some media stuff, bro. I got to do some media stuff. I'll be back on a little bit later, but I have to go do some media stuff, this local podcast and everything. So I might go live, but more than likely, I don't think so. But I'm filming this podcast with some other people, this other boxer that's down here and some other people or whatever. Just some other duties, kind of stay sharp behind the scenes and all that. But we should definitely chop this up a little bit later. Thanks for the participation, those of you that tuned in. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. Shout out to Beterbiev. Congratulations to him for getting that win. You know what I'm saying? Yarde, want to see him fight another day. Appreciate the big dogs that pulled up, man, and dropped those comments on what you think about whether, Tunde did the right thing or not. Him throwing in the towel, he's the head dude. So if he want to throw in the towel and he see that it's not a safe place, then I don't blame him for any of that. You know what I'm saying? Is he that person or that trainer, or I don't know how to put this, because Yarde, was being professional post fight. Is he still the guy that Yarde needs around him to go to the next level? Because to me, if you continue to stay in the shape and you start to digress in the later rounds and you just don't have that fuel to take you past to the final bell, then when are you planning on changing it? Who is allowing you continue to do this? You have to be able to push all the way into the championship rounds and be dangerous. Come in there looking the part, looking like a gladiator, but yet you fell into a gladiator. When you get to the championship rounds, when you really need to pull out all the stops, somebody in the camp is not telling him, no, let's switch this up. Let's get so-and-so in here. Let's get another strength and conditioning coach in here. Let's get a nutritionist and let's take off a little bit of the muscle and let's get your cardio. Let's get those gas tank. Let's get that gas tank up. Else he's going to continue to fizzle in the rounds, in the final rounds, man. I got to get Martin King's super chat. Shout out to Martin King in the building. He said, y'all ain't a fan. 100% warrior. Yeah, he is a warrior, bro. I like Yarde, man. He's a warrior. He showed that dog in there. I just want him to switch it up a little bit. Kind of shed the muscle mass. Get Get in shape. Like, Tony was right when he said that, Evander Holyfield is that 101. He had muscle mass. He is one of the best in shape fighters that you will see that can go into the 12th round. He was. You know what I'm saying? He was that dude. He was in shape. He was muscular. You know what I'm saying? We seen fighters like, if you look at Andre Berto, he used to be kind of bulky, but I mean, I'm just giving the comparisons as far as physique, not comparing them to Evander Holyfield as a fighter. When it comes to the bigger weight classes, you just don't see guys with a crazy physique like that. Even Deontay Wilder is shredded. You know what I'm saying? But still had cardio issues. You got to have a strength and conditioning coach to dial it all in for you, bro. You got to have a strength and condition. Look at all the other heavyweights. Who's up there bulked up this day and time? Daniel Dubois, Joe Joyce, Dillian White. Who? Oscar Rivas? Andy Ruiz? You know that ain't true. Devil's a lie. Who else up there? Tyson Fury? Many would say Tyson Fury has one of the best physiques in boxing that you would never see on a magazine cover, because he knows how to box with that physique. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to box with that mass. But what other fighter that you see in here this day and time that's even remotely shaped like an Anthony Yarde or Vander Holyfield? You don't see it often. Or even Frank Martin. Frank Martin has muscle. Let's see what it takes for him when he gets into a fight 12 rounds and he really has somebody in front of him that's shifting his gears and forcing him to switch it up and make the adjustments. He's real bulky. Let's see how that works out. But shout out to Martin King for that $5 super chat, brother. Salute to you. But man, I gotta bounce. I gotta make this appointment. Y'all hold it down. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. Salute to everybody that was in the building once again. Hit the like on the way out and pass the word, man. I'm out.